These cygnets are among hundreds of birds rescued after being abandoned by their parents near Busselton. The birds can't fly yet, and as wetlands dry up, they wander in search of fresh water and end up in trouble on the ocean.
The wetlands in the Vass wetland system are drying up. They're drying up earlier than expected due to drainage for flood mitigation from farming practices and also urban development. And we're finding that the cygnets just are starting to walk out of the wetlands because their parents have already left because there's not enough food or fresh water to maintain the population of wetlands birds at the moment. Unfortunately, they look for the largest body of water, which is the sea. So they march off to the sea even though they're already starving. By the time they get to the sea, quite often they have burnt feet and they're starving by the time they get to the ocean. They join up in little groups and hang together, so people think it's quite natural to see the cygnets on the ocean, but there's nothing for them to eat and there's certainly nothing for them to drink.
Mary McGregor Craigie has been caring for abandoned black swan cygnets since she set up the rescue service FAWNA in the 1980s.
If they're in very, very poor condition, when you take them off the drying up wetlands where they've had no food for a long time and they haven't had much growth, but once they've got a bit up their sleeve, so to speak, they seem to be pretty easy. It's only the very small ones that are very lightweight that we ever seem to lose. In their bodies, they can go into shock and die quite easily.
Volunteer Brad Fish has spent most of this summer in his boat rescuing cygnets.
You know, this year we were getting calls daily. At one stage, I think the biggest group that we got was 19.
Brad is part of a small team of volunteers dedicated to continuing Mary McGregor Craigie's work, saving these water birds.
Mary McGregor was a massive influence on my life, and when you grow up around wildlife and you can appreciate how beautiful it is and how beautiful these birds are, or all animals and birds are, do you want to give back? And it's through her legacy that's kept me going, and as long as I'm able, I will keep going. And my children are now involved, you know, they come out with me and help as well. My son-in-laws, I've got them in the boat now, they're coming out, but they don't bat an eyelid. They know it's for a good cause, and if they can carry it on, and now I've got two little grandsons, you know, if their parents keep them involved as well, then it's a legacy that'll live on, hopefully. Yeah.
The FAWNA volunteers are looking for help from the public to continue to care for these cygnets until their wings develop and they're ready for release.
We can't save every cygnet, but we'd like people to be looking out for them. We've had plenty of calls at 11 o'clock at night for a goose in the front yard. Not a goose, but as you can see from the footage, they do look a little goose-like. And if you see them in the ocean, it is correct to give your local wildlife organisation a call so that we can organise a rescue if we can.
A labour of love keeping these iconic birds alive. Ellie, Honeybone, ABC News, Busselton.